26 promotions. Third Times Racing, Steele Savage Radio, your source for your radio interviews, your video interviews, your pit interviews. Steele Savage Radio, 26 promotions. Third Times Racing. With the Nabo Rambo Body Steel and the gifter, Mr. Darren Ward.
What's up, Radio Lab Podcast Land and all across the earth. It's the notorious, the rebellious, the man of the hour, too sweet to be sound, Nabo Rambo Bobby Steele coming guys loud and proud on the station that rocks the motherfucking nation, yeah! And on the line here also we got the one and the only, the gifter, Mr. Darren Ward! Yeah! Oh! What's going on, Darren?
I was tired until that happened. I mean, good lord.
Well, I mean, you gotta wake up, man. I mean, it's a good time here right now. We got a kick-ass guest that's joining us here shortly there. So, but we're gonna see you follow that there now.
No, I can't. It's impossible. There's no way. I've had coffee, Red Bull, I'm drinking Mountain Dew, and I'm still about to fall asleep.
It sounds like you're on your way home now.
I'm already home. Okay. Are you catching like a feedback from me or something?
Well, it kind of sounds like our guest is waiting for us here right now because you know what? He has a lot of money to make here right now because you know what? He doesn't even have a number on his car. The money man is out there, styling for fighting. We got Mr. Cody Center on the line. What's going on, Cody?
Not much. I wish I was styling. I ain't got a whole lot of style myself, so.
Well, at least you're talking with Darren Ward. Darren Ward has all the styling, man. You know that? Darren wears gaiters for night shoes. That's what Darren goes. That's what he goes to bed in. I mean, he walks around in gaiters. So yeah, I mean, you're in good company there with Darren Ward.
I guess so.
What's going on, Cody? You know what? Man, you know what? Darren was telling me about getting you on the air here. And I've been watching some videos, man. Holy shit, dude. That's all I can say, man. Exciting, brother.
Yeah, I have it pretty easy. I mean, driving, I drive the IMCA stock cars out here in Arizona, and I mean, the class is just the best class that is around. I've driven modified sport mods, northern and southern. I've driven the pure stocks that are out here in Arizona, and I mean, the stock car just puts on the best racing. I mean, that's why you see a bunch of modified guys dropping into it, because it puts on the better racing. You get to see the drivers go up front. You don't need a crate to win. It's actually a home-built engine, and go.
For sure. You know what? I always tell people, real quick there, Darren, sorry, real quick, I always tell people, you know what, besides sprint car racing, you know, stock car racing is my favorite. The IMCA stock cars, you know, USA stock cars, those are the other most exciting there. But go ahead, Darren, I'm sorry.
You know how I'm always saying stock car drivers get after it? I'm really just talking about Cody Center. Because every time there's pictures of him, I think the one that we used for the promo is him up on 3 wheels. Like, the dude just wheels a race car. It's fun to watch.
Yes, man, that 3-wheel motion. And he's not even sipping that potion either.
Well, it's funny. I mean, I know most race car drivers, you can show us a picture of our car. We can tell you exactly what happened that night. The picture of that night, I was not fast at all. So I'm like, oh, man, that brings up back bad memories that night.
It looks fast. If that counts any, you look fast.
Oh, yeah, it looked great. I mean, you ain't going to win the show, be the show, right? So.
Hey, that's good. That's the first time I've ever heard that. Thinking to be the show, win the show. Hell yeah, see? I told you styling and profiling. You in good company here with Mr. Darren Ward, man.
Yeah. His wife's the one that took that picture, too, so we're doing pretty good.
Let me ask you, man, how do you get a stock car doing 3-wheel motion, man? That's like a sprint car. You only really see sprint cars doing that.
Well, that's some speed secrets I can't pass on. I mean, I have my little brother. His name's Talon. Everyone calls him TC. He's back in Indiana. He's working with Hudson O'Neill. When he found out I was racing stock cars, he's like, man, you need to get out of that. You need to go sport mod so I can help you out. I'm like, no, I love the stock car. So every now and then he sends us a little bit of information down to my dad, who races sport mod now, and we try and throw in a little late model stuff every now and then. It seems to work.
Man, I mean, Darren, when's the last time you see stock cars literally just doing 3-wheel motion, especially that video that's posted?
It was probably that picture that is there. That's probably the last time I saw one get up on 3 wheels like that. I don't even think I think I've seen a stock car flip once, and I think it was at Canyon I want to say it was last year. I might be wrong. Yeah, usually they're not. I don't know if you meant to get up on the wheel like that, but it looks good if you didn't.
Yeah, personally, I don't like it that much. I'm a 4-wheel drive, as the saying goes, 3 for show, 4 for dough. I like having that left front on the ground so I can actually see where I'm going.
Dude, what's going on? You're going to take my job here, man. You ain't supposed to be coming up with all this stuff here, man. Hey, that's a competition there, Darren. You know what? You better be careful there, Darren. Cody might just be cruising on in with that money sign.
He might take over your job, and then I might have to contact him for some one-liners to put in the press releases now. We're going to start hiring Cody for everything.
Cody, yeah.
Hey, I get these all from my dad, so.
So speaking of your dad and your family, I know you said that they race. What is your background and kind of your family history in racing?
Oh, man, I grew up around dirt track racing, so that's all I know. My dad, when I was born, I think he was either driving either a late model or he just got into the modified. I'm not sure exactly which one he was in at the time. And he actually changed his number for me when I was born. He was actually either D1 or D21 or something along those lines. And he actually changed his number and put my name on his car, so Cody, so it ended up being 0. And that was my introduction to racing. I was at my very first race I ever went to was out at Casa Grande. I was 6 days old. I have no idea who won. I obviously don't remember the race at all, but I was born into racing, so I've been around dirt my whole life.
Did you ever do any of the quarter midget type of stuff, or did you do any of the what are they doing now, like the outlaw carts, anything like that?
Yeah, I got started. I believe it was 1998 is when I got in my first car. It was a quarter midget, and I did not do very well the first couple nights in it. I think I flipped and didn't do anything at all. And I don't know if my dad was like, man, I think we made the wrong idea doing this, but come to find out the car that we had wasn't very good, so they got me a new car. It actually looked like Steve Kinser's old Valvoline car. It was number 11. We got into that. Just a light switch went off, and I mean, I started winning races in the senior novice class, and we stayed in that for a couple of years. We moved up to modified midgets, the 250cc engines, and we raced against the 600cc modified midgets. I'm getting blown by all these other 600s like Joshua Shipley and the Shipley brothers. They're all blown by me. I'm sitting there going on the back straightaway, and they split me. I'm like, yeah, this is kind of scary. But we moved up to steer stocks next year and won a bunch of races, won a championship, sport mods, modified, stock cars. I mean, I've been on dirt my whole life, pretty much.
You did some sport mod racing earlier this year, correct?
Yeah, I had my own sport mod. It was an old Skyrocket that we bought. And we had terrible luck the first night. We made 3/4 of a lap in the heat race, and we broke the front end off someone spinning out. So my crew, my buddy Garrett, he's been coming out almost all year. He's been coming out the last couple of years. Him and my dad tore apart the entire car. They went home. I stayed at the track to get the car fixed. They run home, fix the bumper. My dad's welding up new lower control arms. They come out the next day, get the car fixed. We go out in the heat race. We complete 3/4 of a lap. The rear end gets knocked out of it. Now, this whole time, I'm still racing my stock car the same night. So they're busy working. They're not enjoying any of the damn races at all. I'm trying to get my fucking stock car ready. So I'm racing the stock car. They're working the entire damn time. And then I'm like, all right, get the sport mods fixed. I'm starting dead last. I think there's 19 cars. And the track's pretty dusty. It's a day race. I hate day racing. I'm like, all right, I'm going to start last. And I just want to survive. That's my whole idea. Just survive. We take the green. I'm putting around, and the first yellow comes out. I think, like I said, I think we were 19th. First yellow, I think I'm like 8th. I'm like, shit, all right, we're doing all right. And then a couple more yellows come out, and I'm fighting up to like fourth or something. I'm like, we're doing all right. And we get a yellow flag with like 5-6 laps to go. And I got stuck on the outside at the bottom groove track. I'm like, you know what? I've already made my goal. I've survived this long. We're going to go around the outside, see what works. And I don't know how, but that sport mod just likes being up top. And we went screaming around everyone out down the back straightaway and ended up passing Mark Harrison for the win. So that was pretty damn cool. And that was the first ever Northern Sport Mod race in my own car.
Wow. Now that's you know what? Is that the one that Melissa Mahai took the video of?
Yeah, she took the video of that one.
Yeah.
So she actually had a question. Is that your most memorable victory lane after that win, or is there something else that sticks out more than going last to first in a sport mod that didn't run the 2 nights before?
That one, I will definitely say, is the most emotional win I've had, at least in a very long time. I mean, that was a team win between my buddy Garrett, my dad getting the car, them getting the cars fixed for me just so I can go out and go race. I get to have the easy part. And, I mean, my girlfriend, Darren, she's there trying to keep me calm and trying to talk me out of jumping off a ledge. And, I mean, I have a lot of help with Jesse Turner, Don Hagen, Dean, everyone out there would just help me out. My grandpa, he brought the motor home just so I could stay out there and work on all my shit. So it was just, I mean, it was definitely a team win altogether. So that one I would have to say is my favorite one so far.
Yeah, that was definitely an awesome one. I remember watching that there, and I just kept hearing people talk about it. And when I was watching, I was like, holy shit, you know, yeah, that's the fucking racer, man. That's what it's all about, you know, because you know what? That was like a video game. You know how in the video games, we like to start off last and make our way all the way to the front and win it, right? And if we only get halfway wrecked, then we hit reset, then we start to race all over again, right? And then we started over again.
Oh, yeah, well, thankfully we got
that was a huge win. We got a question here.
Yeah, we got our wrecking out early.
We got a question here from Gabriel. It says, ask Cody who's a better race car driver, him or his brother TC?
Oh, man, I was wondering if someone was going to ask this. Back in the day, I mean, still to this day, my brother is so much smarter than me when it comes to these race cars. No question on who the better mechanic is, who's smarter, builder, everything. He wins hands down. Now, when we were younger, he understood the cars a lot better, so he knew how to drive it a lot easier, or better than me. Now, I've been in the seat pretty much consistent. I've had 1 year off in, 21 years now. I've only sat out 1 year. He's been out of the seat for a couple years now. I think I'm a better driver, so I'll have to take the crown for that.
I bet, man. I bet you're a video game driver, dude. Literally, like video game, man. I mean, seriously, from Overwatch, from 3-wheel motion there, and coming from dead last to win it, man. I mean, you're coming into Darren Ward there. You're gonna be going to bed wearing alligator shoes, man.
I don't know. My new fire suit looks pretty good, so it's not quite alligator style, but it's pretty close.
Oh shoot, man! I know Darren was Darren has a heap of questions here for you, man, because Darren's like, we got to get him on. So go for it, Darren.
I do, and I know that we've talked briefly, I think it was a couple weeks ago at ET, and you were the only person that I know of that could actually explain how the IMCA points work that made sense to me. Okay. How do they work, and how do they get calculated? Because you're not just running against guys in Arizona. You're running against guys regionally and on a national level.
Right. So, I mean, just to make it as simple as I can, and I'm sure I'll still say something wrong. I know if Rowdy's listening, I know he'll point it out to me. So, so if we have to have a full field of cars, for IMCA, you need 10 cars to get a full 40 points for the win. And that's 1 point drop down from there. And if there's only, like we just ran out Tucson and I won, we only had 7 cars. So I only got a 37-point win instead of 40. And so, I mean, you're not going to go out, race by yourself and get a full 40 points and go win a national title because you're not going to be getting full 40 points. Now, how the easiest way to explain it is you are racing in state. So every race in state for the IMCA stock cars, say for like me, George Franzman, Lonnie Foss, Joey McCullough, David Gill, just to name a couple, that is racing in Arizona. Everything you race in the state for the first 55 nights gets you points. And whoever has the best total after 55 nights wins state championship. Now there's regional for stock cars, it's only northern and southern. We have states like Texas and California, New Mexico, obviously us here in Arizona, and half of Colorado is the big ones that I can think of. They only take the best 30 nights of your first 55 nights. Now, if Arizona, if we would have had so many nights, we would have had 30 races last year. Between me and George Franzman in the 41 car, I think one of us would have won regional championship last year, which would have been pretty cool. And then obviously national.
Right? George, that number one, that 41, that was also doing the three-wheel motion on that Tucson track at USA Raceway in Tucson, Arizona, correct?
Oh, yeah, he's a monster out there in that left front. I don't think he likes it very much either, but he's got some crazy forward, so he carries it a lot. He's a big torque monster underneath that hood.
Wow, man! I mean that. If you guys have not seen it, go to Cody Center's page there, and you'll definitely see what we're talking about there. It's the races happen at Tucson, Arizona, USA Raceway, which is a gigantic track in the first place there. If you guys are scared of heights, I always tell people, don't go up in the stadium that stands there, man. Don't look down. Just go and sit down and make sure you have everything in your pockets glued to you, because last thing you want is those things to drop down into the bottom there, man. Those stadium seats are high.
Yeah, unfortunately, I didn't get to go up in the grandstands there, but it was that track is very fast. It's the first time I've ever seen that track before, and I was lucky enough to win, so that was pretty fun.
For the stock car class, go ahead.
I was just going to ask real quick here. You know, a lot of our listeners right now really don't know what a stock car is right now. Hey, Cody, really quickly, can you just give us some specs on the actual stock car? You're talking about engine, stuff like that, and then what you're looking at speed, because everybody wants to know, okay, well, how fast are they really going? Now, everybody says an average of like a sprint car, when we tell them, they're going about 100 miles an hour, 112 miles an hour around the track, people say, well, that's not that fast. But that's around the entire track, it doesn't include the straightaway actual speed. I mean, you got slowing down speed, taking off speed, full speed, and then slowing down, correct?
Right. I mean, I think on our average speed, like at Arizona Speedway, they have the transponder system set up there. I think it says our average speed is usually high 60s, maybe low 70s. I have my GoPro set up, and I don't know how accurate it is, because it'll say sometimes our high speed's like 77. At Tucson, it said 81. My buddy Joey, he'll put his phone in his pocket, and he has a speed tracker on there, and he'll say we were going like 84. I'm like, my GoPro doesn't say that fast, but we'll go with that. So,
but people understand that straightaway is probably like 100 yards, like a football field. Is it 100 yards?
It feels pretty short.
It's really short, to hit people. You guys got to understand, the straightaway is not that big. It's not that long there. I'm guessing 80 yards. I'm guessing. You guys, somebody help me out here. Somebody in the chat room there. On the straightaway, we're looking at maybe 50 yards to maybe 100 yards. But to go from coming out of the turn there, you guys are probably coming out at 40 miles an hour? 50?
If we're on the bottom, we're probably coming out around 50 or so. If you're up top, you might be coming around 60 or something. I mean, you're trying to keep up the momentum, especially in these heavy stock cars. You're trying to keep the momentum up, so we're not trying to slow down a whole lot.
But to hit that top speed in that short amount of time and slow down again, that's definitely a task there.
Oh yeah, it can be a little bit of work.
I bet. Go ahead, Darren.
So visually, I know there's a look difference between like the stock cars, the hobby stocks, for IMCA, and then you've got your pure stocks and your bombers. What are the actual differences between all of them? Can you guys all run together, or is there an advantage to one that the other doesn't have? Anything like that?
So one of the easier way, or something I saw from Boone Speedway, they were talking about their little sport compacts or little cruisers or something like that. Basically, you kind of look at it as a pure stock is a car that you race. I mean, yes, you still have a cage in it. You have now you're on racing tires and racing wheels, but a stock car is a race car. I mean, you have lead, you can have weight jacks. You're allowed to have you can't really have that much of an offset cage. So you can't have your cage too far over to the left. You have an aftermarket firewall. We're allowed open headers. The Ford 9-inch, you're allowed to change the suspension mounts on the rear end themselves, so you can raise or lower your lower trailing arms to give you a little more bite and a little bit more forward out of the corners. So the stock car is more of a race car versus a pure stock. And, I mean, we have much more of an advantage because we have better suspension than a pure stock, especially out here in Arizona where the tracks, when the summertime's here, the track starts going dry. Those pure stocks, even though we're on the same tire as them, they have more motor. They're on a 4-belt carburetor, but they're going to buzz their tires. It's going to be a lot easier for them to lose speed coming out of the corners versus us because we can get more of a grip coming out because of our weight jacks. We can get the weight where we want it.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense because I always see them on. They always look. I look at them. I see pure stock. I see stock car. I'm like, well, they look generally kind of the same. I know the IMCA cars look a little bit different, but they all say that stock car, pure stock. You would think, hey, let's all throw them out there. Let's see what happens. We'll get more of a car count. And then you see stuff like I know Central Arizona Casa Grande runs just the pure stocks, and now we've got ET and Canyon that's been running the stock car. So I didn't know what the actual differences were.
Yeah, pretty much it's the weight jacks, the carburetor, and no Camaros. We're not allowed to run any Camaros in IMCA.
We have a question here in the chat. What age did you start racing? And I think you answered this, but what did you start in, which I think was the quarter midget?
Yeah, it was the quarter midget, and I was, I believe, 8 or 9 years old. I think it was in 1998 or 1999 is when we made the start in the quarter midgets.
And then your dad also races, correct?
Yes, he's been racing for 100.5 years, it feels like. So,
and he was racing a modified and is now in the sport mods.
Yes, he ran modifieds forever, and then he dropped down to a pure stock, and then dropped down to a sport mod to race against me and my brother back when we started racing, and then when I moved up into a modified in 2011, he basically retired, and he was just going to help me out racing, help my brother out racing, before my brother went out to go start working with big names like Terry Phillips and Johnny the Jet and Jesse Sobbing and all that. So it was basically just me racing out of the house. So my dad had his toter home and his trailer, and he was hauling me everywhere. Well, then I stopped racing for a year, and then I got back in the stock car. My dad's like, he got 55 Chevys, and he was doing all this stuff. He's like, all they do is sit in the garage. I want to get back into racing. So he got a pretty good deal on a GRT modified from Jason Soiko. He got the modified, started racing it, and then this past year he just changed it to a Northern Sport mod. So, because the original plan was me and him were going to race each other in the sport mods. That's why I got mine. Well, then ET changed over to IMCA stock cars, and I was like, well, I'm going to have 30 races this year. I have no time for sport mods, so unfortunately me and him don't get a race. But thanks to a buddy of ours, Jesse Turner, not very many people know this yet, but we'll go and announce it. I am going to be racing his sport mod this week against my dad out at ET. So we get a little father-son action going on.
Nice. Guys, let me explain here, guys. ET, we're talking about Arizona Speedway. Excuse me. The track with 5 names. Literally, Arizona Speedway, ET Motor Park, Sports Park, Queen Creek, Santan, and Apache Junction. Is that right? The track with 5 names is what we usually call it. And again, guys, that's like an outskirts of east side of Phoenix, I would actually say there, in that area, guys. So I'm sorry, guys. Go ahead.
Have you and your dad raced against each other much in the past before?
Yeah, back when I was like 13 up till probably 20, we ran against each other every so often, mostly in the pure stocks and sport mods. And I won't lie, he beat me most of the time, so I have redemption. I got to come back and beat him back.
That was going to be my next question, was who's got the better record against each other, but now we know, and now we know what to look out for. So coming to the checker flag, you and your dad you guys are going for the win. You gonna do them dirty and take them out if it comes down to it?
Slide Jump City.
No. If it's gonna be a 1-2 finish, I'll happily take second. But I mean, I ain't gonna give it to him easy.
if it was my dad, I would probably flatten his tires so he couldn't even race. So that would be me, though.
Well, I still work out at the same shop as him, so I got to make sure I keep his car good. Because no matter what, I'll be fixing his car most likely.
So you'll be fixing the flat tire anyways, then, right?
Oh yeah, that's what I'll be doing later days. Thursday tire prep day, so that's what I'll be doing once we're done here.
Hey, you know what? Let me ask you a real quick question here, Cody. With everything racing on dirt track racing here, here to Southwest here, what do you think could help make the sport grow out here in the Southwest here?
Oh man, I mean, I have a lot of thoughts, and I try and keep them all to myself because I know it'll piss off a lot of people.
Well,
honestly, for what
we do that all the time, man.
no kidding. In Arizona, the biggest thing that would help us out is everyone needs to stop bitching about track owners, track promoters, and start supporting the class. Stop paying so much attention to who's running it, what track it is. Get out there, support the class. That's why you see so many. You have a handful of us stock car drivers. We don't care what track it is. We're going to go hit every single track that we can because we're a small class. We're trying to help grow this class. George Franzman, I mean, I have to give him credit. Back when the IMCA stock cars came came to Canyon, because Yuma had them. I don't know how long they had them, but when the IMCA stock cars came to Arizona, he hit every single race. I don't think he's missed a single race since stock cars came here. I've only missed races solely because my motor's blown up in 2017. I missed a bunch of races because I didn't have a motor at the time. But I mean, there are guys who are going to make every single race because they're trying to support a class. Stop the bitching. Stay off Facebook. There's no reason to complain about everything and start bad-mouthing racetracks. Get out there, support your class, make every damn race that you can.
I think I love you.
Yeah. Because, you know what, honestly, I'll tell you, that makes so much sense here because for me, last year, Darren literally watched me be the highest person ever. Yeah! To 2008 to being, I hate racing. I want to quit. I don't want to do this shit no more. So that's the reason why this year I'm not doing the commentary no more online. I'm not, unless they ask me, then I will. But other than that, I'm not gonna, go out of my way and do that no more. I'd rather be in the pits now. My goal is to try to, interview more of the pit crew, which I call them the NFL offensive linemen, because the driver and the quarterback, the driver and the pit crew, they get the car together, and the driver does get all the recognition there, but, usually it's his buddies, family members there who also help too, and, I kind of want to put the spotlight on them too as well, which I think would be a great, a really good deal for a lot of people out there to kind of just give them more confidence,
Oh yeah, we couldn't do this without our crew. Most of it's unpaid help. I don't pay my friend. He knows it. He messaged me a couple years ago. It's like, hey, you still race? I was like, yeah. I'm like, you mind if I come help? I'm like, dude, the pay sucks, but sure. He's like, I don't care. So he gets free food and he gets his pit pass paid, and that's all he gets, and he's fine with it. So, yeah, our crew, our help, they are by far the unsung heroes in this. They get very little recognition, and it's. Wives, girlfriends, everyone, like my girlfriend, Darren, she's usually the one that helps me out every single weekend, and I'm not easy to deal with. So she deserves a lot of credit for how my last couple of years have gone. Obviously, with my dad, he gives me a shit ton of help every single week and every single day. He's always trying to figure out ways to make me quicker.
Melissa on Facebook wanted to know if you could travel to and race any track you wanted to, which one would you choose and why would you choose that one?
My ultimate dream is to go race Super Nationals in Boone. That would be a dream. You get a whole week of just nothing but racing. It's insane. I love it. But if it wasn't Boone, if it wasn't Super Nationals, I would love to go race Marshalltown. Watching the stock car race, the Sport Mods, Modifieds, how they all race out there and have a race announced by Jerry Van Sickle, that's awesome. Just watching how those guys drive each other. It's just a great facility from what it looks like.
And then the one question that I definitely wanted to know, and I think everyone wants to know, is the money sign. What is it? How did it come about? Why don't you have a number? We need the story behind that.
All right. I'll try and make it short. So my dad, he's always liked to go by the saying, always just stand out, be different. And that's kind of where it came from. Back when I ran quarter midgets, I mean, obviously we had our numbers taped over because it would show us our starting lineups, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all that.
Right.
Well, I always ran 1, 5, or 15 because Terry Labonte was my favorite driver, so 5 was my favorite number growing up. Obviously, I can't copy my dad's number because it's 0. That's his number. You gotta be different. Well, when I was getting into the pure stocks, every number was already taken. 1, 5, and 15 were already spoken for, and I wasn't going to copy his number 0 because the car we just bought was already 0. So I was like, all right, well, I got to be different. Well, at the time, my sister was coming back into coming into racing, and we wanted to help her feel welcomed into the family of racing and everything. For whatever reason, if I remember the story correctly, her favorite symbol was the $sign. So that's how it became. It was just to help her feel welcomed in the racing family, and it's just stuck. And I had a lot of people complain about it. I had scores like, that's not a number. You need to change it. I'm like, it is a number. You can type it on a keyboard. And they got pissed off. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. It's 11S. And I've never changed it. I've stuck with it, and it stands out.
That's some sad shit,
It definitely
dude.
does. So when you get out after a win, do you do the money sign like Johnny Manziel? Is that what we should be expecting?
Oh, God, no. No, typically when I win, I bang on my roof, and then I pump my arm, I throw my shoulder out. That's usually how it goes.
All right, this weekend at ET, though, if you win, I need you to get out, and I need you to do the money sign.
Oh, man, I don't know if I can stoop that low.
Don't do it, dude. Don't do it, man. Hell no.
No, we need you to do it. I need pictures of someone getting photos. I need video of you doing the money sign when you get out. That's what I need.
Well, then you better be down there videoing then.
I'll see what I can do.
Man boobs. You got to sign man boobs, Cody. Sign man boobs. That's the way we can do it. Go ahead, Darren.
If I win, I'll make you a deal. If I win both races this weekend, I'll definitely do it.
Fair enough. If you sweep this weekend, then I need the money sign after the second one when you get out.
Deal. I'll do it.
All right.
So you better be on that turn 1 throwing water at all the drivers in front of me so they start slipping up.
Oh, I'm going to have to start messaging every driver. I'm going to have to offer some 20s out, maybe 100, and see what we can do to get this done.
Take pictures with the flash on.
Yeah.
All right, Darren. Anything else there, Darren?
I think we covered everything. Yeah. A lot of, like I said, when I think about stock car drivers, especially getting after it, the first person that came to mind was Cody, because all the times I've spent at Canyon watching him, and usually the stock cars are somewhere either right before or right after the sprint cars. So you'll catch that stock car. It's usually in the front, green money sign, and I've always seen it and gone, what in the world is up with this guy with his money sign car? Usually he's winning. He's in the front. So definitely learned a lot about him today.
Well,
and when we get
having me on. So. Oh, go ahead.
When are we going to get some money sign T-shirts? Do we have any of those available?
I had some shirts being made earlier this year, and things kind of fell through. I do have another guy making them, Cody Hess. I'm sure a lot of fans have seen his shirts out around right now. He is in the process of having them designed. I haven't seen them yet, so I'm hoping that he will be sending me some pictures out here pretty soon, and I can get them printed. Whenever I do have them made up, if anyone wants to order one or just see when they come out, I have a Facebook page called Center Racing. You'll see my car, my dad's car, my uncle's car. They'll all be up on the Facebook page. Just like it, and then you will see those shirts when they finally do come available.
Heck yeah. Sounds good there. Hey, Cody, you know what? Darren's going to run here right now, so I'll be taking over here right now. But we want to wish Darren a great evening here. And I'll be asking you a couple of questions here. We're going to go a little bit more into some of the social media side here. So, guys, get ready here, guys. We're going to take a little break here, guys. We'll do a little station identification. We're going to do a little song here. And we'll have Cody go use the restroom. And we'll be right back, guys. Again, you guys are listening to the station that rocks nation. We got some old school Sepultura on the station that rocks the nation. Steele Savage Radio. Yeah. Ow! Attention race teams, attention race car drivers, and attention race fans. What a great opportunity that 26 Promotions has for everyone out there in the racing industry. 26 Promotions is the perfect fit for any racer who is looking to get that same marketing opportunities as some of the biggest names in motorsports at a fraction of the cost. From press releases to social media managing, 26 Promotions is the easiest decision that any driver can make. 26 Promotions and Darren Ward. Make sure you guys go check out 26 Promotions on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter, and also Instagram. 26 Promotions.
SSRLive.com, WCJFWC.com, Res Radio Rock, 90.3 FM, native voltage.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Welcome to Dirty Times Racing, where we give you all the free slide jobs you want. Aim, race, back to track.